New products. All right. This is in the shop, sort of. We're still waiting for one last thing, but this is the mbed ARM Xively launch, and this is basically just a pack that plugs into what used to be called Cosm, and now it's Xively.
They've changed names.
They changed names. And
we'll have this. Sign up, but we'll have it soon.
Yeah.
We're waiting for them to send us some
stuff. Next up, this was a new product in the store, but it sold out instantly, and we're not going to have any for like 10 weeks. The Pi camera.
Okay.
You can show it.
Yeah, show it off.
Let me just get these photos that John Janier took. Nice photos. But yeah, we got them in, and we sold them out, and then that was it.
Okay,
I might have to get a little closer to the camera there.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Hold on. It's freaking out. I can want to work at this distance. It just doesn't like it.
There you go.
So this is the Pi camera. So it's actually a camera module from like a cell phone or something. And it's mounted on this PCB, and it has some mounting holes on it. And yeah, this is the modules here. And like you can't really do much with the module itself. I guess you could remove it. On the back, there's some circuitry just to support. There's a timing crystal and maybe some, you know, like capacitors and stuff just to get running. And then it has a flex PCB cable. And this PCB cable plugs into the top of the Pi. There's two connectors. One is for the LCD, which is unreleased, we don't know anything about. One is this camera, which they finally got out. But unfortunately, they're severely back ordered on. So I don't know when we'll get more.
Yeah.
But we have one. Yay. Camera.
Yeah, we had some in the store and they just evaporated. The second we put them in, they sold out. So it's the way it goes in the Pi world. All right. Next up, BeagleBone Blacks. They are in stock right now. There's still a few left. We put, we've had BeagleBone Black in stock twice. Sold out each time. We put them in stock on Friday. There's still some left. You get 10% off tonight. So they're in there if you want them in the store right now. Next up, we had an update to our budget pack.
This is the Raspberry Pi budget pack, and there's not much to show, so I'll just talk about the photo. It's basically the exact same budget pack, same great stuff, except we've updated the case to be our snap together case instead of an acrylic case, because it's a better case, and we think it fits the Pi much better. And we also took some nice new photos, and that's pretty much it. So it's just updated.
Yeah. Next up.
J-Link.
What is this thing?
This is a JTAG adapter. So if you're writing code for ARM chips that use JTAG, or like ARM Cortex chips that use SWD, you'll need a debugger. So this is a debugger, and it has USB on one end, and then it comes with a cable even, yay. And on the other end is kind of the classic, 20-pin JTAG cable, and there's adapters available if you don't have the exact, JTAG connector on there. This allows you to set breakpoints, debug your program, see variables, basically like a GDB but for hardware. Okay. So this is the tool that you would use that would interface. And what's nice about this is it supports like every compiler. It's like very agnostic.
Can you use this with like any boards that people are familiar with, like a Dewey or a?
I don't know if it has Dewey support. I know that this is designed for our ARM Cortex chips. It should work with the Dewey. I just don't know specifically if that chip is supported, because I know that we've been using this with the LPC series from NXP. I just haven't used it with an Atmel chip. But you can check the J-Link site to see if that's true. But nearly everything that has JTAGs support built in tends to have support from the J-Link, just because it's one of the most popular JTAG adapters, and it works really great.
Okay, quick question. Does it work with the STM32 and OpenOCD?
I don't know offhand.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a really hardcore ARM person. This is actually K-Town's suggestion.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is the best one. I'm like, I haven't really used them. I used one once a long time ago. I do so much of my work with an 8-bit core that I don't really pull out a JTAG emulator or debugger.
If K-Town says it's the best, it's definitely the best.
And this is the EDU version. So the trade-off is it's much lower cost than the classic J-Link, but it cannot be used for commercial purposes. It's meant for people who are learning and experimenting with ARM chips, not meant for people who are using this at work. It's otherwise equivalent, it's just not, if they're hoping, they're saying like, hey, we're doing you a favor, we're going to have this for a lot less.
Yeah.
But, we make our money by selling these, so if you're making money from it, please buy the official version.
Home use only.
Yeah, home use only.
This is the one that you keep on your kitchen table, not your workbench at work.
No, it can be a workbench, but it's your at-home workbench. You can be an
bench.
official developer, but at home you can use this if you're working on your own projects.
I understand completely. All right, next up, we've got this blinky thing.
Yeah.
So this thing plugs into something and blinks.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to, they didn't bring one for me. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, this is a little kit. It's a mini kit. It's very, very easy. There's only a couple parts. And it's a little USB stick, and it has an AT-Tiny 85, and it's got an LED at the end. You can see some super bright LED. And it's basically like a USB controlled LED. You can also actually, remove the LED and connect anything with 3 PWMs out and control a different LED or an LED strip if you wanted.
Okay.
It's just that this is kind of like ready to go.
I'll go to the overend.
For LED. So,
oops, I went to the wrong one. There's like 8 of us.
There's 8 of us. Okay. Go.
Camera, go home. You're drunk. Okay.
Okay. So, I'm going to adjust this a little bit.
Yeah. Zoom in.
Okay. So yeah, because it's so small.
You want to go?
No. You just give it a second. If you get excited, it balks.
You have to scare it. Don't scare
so
the
there's
camera.
a USB connector, and it's a USB plug. You just plug it into any laptop or computer, and it works with Mac, Windows, and Linux, Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
We tried it for sure with Windows. It worked, and we tried it with a Mac for sure, and we got that working too. Pretty sure.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a little chip here, and you solder it together. It's really easy. And then what we really like about this, because this is not like a terribly difficult hardware design, but what's really great is all the software that the author wrote for it. So there's a lot of libraries, example code, tutorials on how to interface this with something you're using already. So that's what we really like, because it's like very easy to make hardware. It's like, okay, it's the LED and it blinks, but then it's like you have to write the software and the example core.
Yeah.
And so that's what you're getting with this project, is it it's very well supported.
Yeah. All right. We're going to go through the next one quick so we have time for some questions. But this is the new board from Parallax. This is the Propeller activity board. This is a big deal for Parallax, by the way. This is they're going for it. They're saying this is the board that you're going to use, see, and you're going to learn cool stuff. And this is going to be their next basic stamp.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is it. This is the thing that they're working on. So I'm going to go to the overhead.
Okay, so this is your board. And here's what's going on with it. There is a propeller chip in the middle. It says Parallax. There's a reset button. There's some power switches. I don't know exactly why there's 2. There's D to A. It is a some ST micro digital analog converter, so you can do audio. I guess they have some wave playing code that you can write. There's a micro SD slot up here, and it's underneath a XB socket. There's a 3.3 volt regulator. There are, looks like servo drivers, servo pin, breakout pins up here.
Yeah.
There's an FT232 compatible FTDI chip with a mini USB connector, so you can connect to your propeller and upload code, debug it. And it's got a little area here for prototyping, so it's kind of got everything. Oh, there's also an A to D. So you can, if you want analogs, there's 4 analogs and 4 analog ins and 2 analog outs. That's kind of nice. Handy.
All right. Next up, fabric cable.
Yeah.
What's the right term for this?
This is a fabric ribbon covered.
Yeah.
Ribbon cable.
Super handy if you do wearables and you want to use real wires, but then still.
But it's sewable.
But it's sewable.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. This is a.
You want to go in the overhead?
Actually, can we look at the photo, because it's hard to see.
Is it better with the photo?
Yeah. So it's fabric. It's a nylon webbing. It's a flexible webbing, and inside the webbing is 4 wires, and they're separated, so they're not floating inside. It's woven into the ribbon, and it's super flexible. And then there's 4 wires, and I think they're 28 gauge. I'm not sure exactly what gauge, but I measured it says 28, and they're stranded. So the whole thing is really flexible. And they're color-coded wires, and then I'll show the overhead.
Okay. It's overhead zone. There you go.
Yeah, so it's a soft and flexible wire, but yeah, there's 4 wires that come out, and it comes in 1 yard length. You can kind of barely see maybe the wires sticking out.
Yeah.
And there you go. This side has it a little bit better. So this is really good if you want to have a long stretch of wiring, but you don't want to use our thread. And then you can stitch over it either on the edges, which is I suggest, or if you're like, you want to go fast, you can zigzag over it, and it's totally washable. And the wires are Teflon coated, so they're super flexible and protected.
And it comes in Adafruit Black.
Yeah. Yeah, it only comes in this color.
It's the only color.
Or lack of color.
It's all the colors put together. Strong colors. All right. Next up. These are the stars of the show right up here today. You were busy.
I was busy?
You were busy. You were on a CapTouch bender.
Yeah.
I'd wake up and there was just like CapTouch prototypes everywhere.
Yeah.
Look at this. So what do these do?
You're like, I don't know what they are.
No, I know what they are.
There's 2 capacitive touch sensors. They're from the same family, the 8T42QT10, 1012 family. So they're single button CapTouch, and they're microcontroller free. So you touch the pin, and you touch the pad, and a pin goes high or low. That's pretty much all it does.
Normally, you need a microcontroller to do this stuff.
No, but I mean, these you don't. But I'm saying, like, if you want to have more switches or something more complicated. Yeah. It's not unusual to have a controller that has a lot more going on, but this is nice because there's no microcontroller. You just kind of use it for whatever. You can integrate it to any project. You can attach this to a power switch tail and have a capacitive touch power switch type thing. Gotcha.
So anytime you would you have a switch in your project and you want to turn it into a capacitive switch, you could do this.
You just plug this in.
Gotcha.
And there's like no effort. You don't have to worry about timing or analog digital conversions or whatever. It just works. And it works with anything because it's just digital output. And it runs from 2 to 5 volts. And we did a really nice job here. We have a nice pad which you can touch. There's 4 mounting holes, so you can just use it as is. And it'll work with up to like a couple millimeters, 3 or 4 millimeters of material in between. You don't have to experiment with the material. But it's fairly sensitive, but not so sensitive that it goes off all the time. There's also a reverse mount LED that'll let you know when it's activated. And they're both fairly low power, and there's 2 types. One is an on-off momentary, and one is an on-off toggle.
Okay.
So I'll show both of those on the overhead.
Okay, let's go to the overhead. And then after that, we're going to do open questions.
Okay.
It's the last one.
So.
Oh, by the way, the model for the RFID breakout board, Chris uploaded to Thingiverse and just posted in the thing.
Okay. So yeah, these are the 2 different designs, and this one over here on the left is the momentary. So when you touch it, it turns on. That's pretty much it. Very simple. And then this one on the right here or top is the toggle. So when I touch it, it turns on, and I touch it, it turns off again. So this is good for when you're like, well, I want to touch it to activate, and then I want to touch it again to deactivate. Whereas this one is only active when you touch it. So this is momentary, and this is toggle. So that's it. Here's my demo. I can do this all day.
It's a good demo. Okay, and with that, that's new products this week, Lady Ada.